So, what are your plans? What are you gonna do?
Well, I have this very ambitious and exciting plan to walk in a westerly direction as the crow flies through 4 countries, through the Netherlands, through England, through Wales, and through Ireland to the westerlymost point. And my reason to do this is it has many symbolic layers, which mean a lot to me on a personal level, but also like further than that. Essentially, by walking through these countries, I'm linking I'm creating my personal path, and I'm following my ancestral path, or linking places that are relevant to me in this respect, because well, my mother's family comes from a place in the Netherlands, right in the middle of the major rivers, and I was born in Oxford in the UK, and my father's family originally come from Ireland. And the reason to do this now, as we speak now, on the 12th of December, as the British elections happen, I believe in Europe. I believe in the unity of Europe, and by walking this route, it's a statement about the freedom of borders, the freedom between places, and breaking down walls, breaking down barriers, breaking down prejudice, and ultimately this is a statement for peace. I firmly believe in unity, and especially now, at a time of an environmental crisis, it's more important than ever to realize the bond and the link between people and places and nature. And by walking, I'm also making an environmental statement, as I then commit myself to making a direct connection with the environment through which I'm following, as then I'm not separated from it, I'm part of it, and it influences me. I feel the rhythm of the nature and my own body in harmony, and also as it becomes a very sort of sensory experience, that I am observing the environment and feeling it through my ears, my eyes, and all my senses. So the connection is direct, and it also therefore my experience of being in the environment is no longer separate. I am in the environment. I am part of the environment, and I feel it as if I was feeling my own feelings. My emotion becomes connected with the emotion of the environment itself.
Yeah. So that's like the bigger picture. So it started with like a personal thing that you wanted to follow, a personal line that you wanted to follow, and this is like the broader picture why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And
sure.
and what is practically what you're going to be? What are you going to be creating? Are you going to be creating things on the way? Or?
Essentially, the imagery of stitching a red thread through the places is what drives me. This idea of the red thread is also symbolic, that it's a blood. It's a bloodline, an artery.
Rode draad in Dutch.
In Nederlands is it een rode draad,
Yeah.
which is also the main pull, the main drive. But I literally create the red thread by plotting places upon the map and walking from one place to the next in this tapestry.
So Kate, are you gonna document this?
So I'm going to create a project around this, as an artist and a musician, where the journey, the line, the walk, and the connection between the places is the musical score, and that because I'm very interested in music, the connection of music to the environment, but also the connection of music to memory, in particular as a method by which to memorize. So I'm creating the piece as I go, and at every point I add the next part of the piece. So through the journey and to the end point, I build up sort of like a memory line of my entire journey through music, or through a musical line.
And always adding another little piece to the existing song.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah.
So are there more things like important to you in this journey?
Sure. I mean, thinking about ancestral heritage and a red line, or the red thread, I think about the connection with ancestors, but particularly ancestors of mothers, of my mother's mothers, and the kind of the sacredness of the female line. And in a way, that is literally my bloodline, and that's also the red line through the landscape, searching for the sacredness of the female line, and taking this journey as a solo woman in this very ambitious thing. I draw a link as I'm working. It's walking and working. So I leave my desk. That my desk is the journey itself. And in this case, it has resonances to me with. It becomes a sort of feminist statement as well. In that I find my own path. It's finding my own path. And this does remind me of the sort of the seminal work, this beautiful work by Virginia Woolf, A Room of One's Own, where I take it as a path of one's own.
So, Kate, what is actually going to be the end product? What's going to be the result of this all?
That's a really good point to think about. Then the essential question of the project of what is the result, and in answer to that. I think very carefully, because it's not about creating an end result or a product per se. In fact, quite the opposite. I look at the idea of as an artist or a creator in a broader sense, where the product is the goal, and I want to make a statement that the product in this case is not the goal. It's the experience that's the goal, and the connection with the environment. Music is memory, and so the goal of the journey is to internalize the journey through memory, using music as a mnemonic, music as a method by which to remember.
Nice.
So by undertaking the journey and building up a sort of the clarity and experience of the way. And by the end, I will be able to recount the journey through memory, through an expression of the way in which I've eternalized the journey, and using music.
Nice. So my last question is, what will people that donate to your cause, what will they actually receive from you?
Well. The work will be exhibited in collaboration with Water Walks, which is an initiative created by Ludwig, and also Drinkable Rivers. In collaboration, they've created a water museum, and this piece will be exhibited there. And for the generous people that want to sponsor me.
Yeah.
I warmly, like with the bottom of my heart, like with everything, invite you to come. Like, you have my invitation to join me on this journey, and essentially it's an open book and an open call to engage, whether it's coming to the exhibition or just simply being in contact by email, or whether in fact you want to join me for a walking part of the journey. You're most welcome. Another way to engage or to make a connection with your kind sponsorship, I'm also very much interested in performing for you, or giving a lecture, or sort of like a story or a talk. So that would be also something that's very important to me.
Yeah, and people can also like follow you because you're going to be posting your journey as you go along.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, for sure. So I keep a journal, like an audio journal and a photographic journal, and maybe with some videos as well. So you can follow my journey and the way in which it progresses and evolves, and you can see the way in which the environment and the landscape changes.